Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Pinch with Jesus Zen. I'm Jesus Zen from snuffhouse.com. All names have been changed to protect the innocent. So just a little while ago I recorded my Delakia White review, and I had to give myself a little bit of time to come down from that. And now we're talking about 6 Photo Cheeta. This is the tin, and I want to give you guys a minute to really look at this tin. If you're anything like me and you like vintage stuff or new stuff that looks vintage, this is just a really cool tin. It's not just the Indian on it, but I mean, look at like down here on this edge and then up here on the lid, all the little imperfections. I think it's awesome, and it's like an old school like tin. Like I've seen pictures of Garrett Scotch from like 70 years ago. That the tins were like just like this. I think it's kind of a cool thing. Anyways, talking about the snuff itself. This lid, because it's like a tin. These edges can be kind of sharp. So if you don't have nails, you're gonna want to be careful taking that off, because I've actually cut myself opening these tins before. Also, when you get this new, there's a plastic, like almost like a membrane over the top. Resist the urge to cut it out. I did, and ended up with plastic all stuck under the rim, which, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but turns out what you can do is just stick your thumb in the middle and press down until eventually like it just pushes the whole thing out, and then you can take it out in one piece. But I did not do that, which is why you can see little bits of trying to do this in the camera, I'd get all turned around. But yeah, it's why you see like this over here, and you know, all that. It's because I went and I cut it out. But anyways, you can see it's a really light beige color. I love it when the camera really focuses. That's awesome. You can see just how fine and dry this stuff really is. I mean, it's dust. It is dust. In fact, if you take a tin and you just like barely shake it up a little bit before you open it, when you open it, like there'll be smoke pouring out the top, or what looks like smoke. The smell of the tin, it's just like I don't know if any of you guys are following Snuff Anybody McFeagle, but he just put a review up of this stuff yesterday, I think. Either yesterday or the day before. He's doing a whole series on 6 photo snuffs, and he mentioned kind of the same like perfume and bread smell. And I get that. I don't get the butter, but I get perfume, and I get like a stale bread kind of smell. It's definitely offbeat if you've never had an Indian snuff, but it's pleasant. It's nice. So in the Delakia White video, I use a spoon. If you guys have been watching my videos for very long, you know that I am a pincher, but with Indian whites, I use a little bit more caution in how much I'm taking at one time, so my heart doesn't explode. So I use a spoon. And in the Delakia White video, I just spoon into my nose. I mentioned there's another way that I used to take Indian whites when I used to take them. And this is actually something that Kentucky Snuff, Michael Dodson, it's another channel. If he hasn't put anything up in almost a year now, but if you guys aren't familiar with Kentucky Snuff, search Michael Dodson on YouTube, and he's got a bunch of reviews. And, he hasn't put anything up in about a year, but I know the guy is a soldier, so I suppose it's possible he deployed, and if so, I really hope he's okay. But Kentucky Snuff, and he did this with a number of his snuffs, and I think it's just a bit much for most snuffs, but for Indian whites and for fine snuffs, like really fine snuffs, he would do this, and he would take his spoon and he would put a couple of bumps like that, just like that, and then take up to his face and whew. Whew. Yeah. All right, so doing it that way is pretty intense, but it just like when you need that immediate release of nicotine, like it's already like my head's almost swimming. I don't use any Indian whites really ever at all anymore. I used to use them. I was talking about in the Dalaki video how when I first switched to snuff, I was switching from vaping where I had allowed my nicotine tolerance to just go like through the roof. So early on in snuffing, strong nicotine snuffs were really important from time to time because man, if you've let your nicotine tolerance get high enough, there is no snuff short of an Indian white or Toke Rustica that's gonna satisfy that for you. So early on, I used a lot of Indian whites. I haven't used any in about a year now. Excuse me. Until I did these 2 reviews, and I'm sure my heart is loving me for it right now. But of the 3 Indian whites that I've tried, and to the best of my knowledge, they're the only 3 that exist. Dalaki White, 6 Photo Cheeta, and 41 Photo White Elephant. Cheetah was my favorite. I guess because it actually has a scent. It's still not a strong scent, but it's once it's in the nose, there's that same kind of perfume, a baby powder kind of smell, and what I would almost describe as beer. And that's not to say that it smells like beer, but like a fermented grain kind of smell, you know, like in the tin it smells like bread. In the nose, it's a lot more like beer. But it's nice. It's not something you're gonna find in an American or European palate. As far as snuffs go, there are German snuffs that have that same beeriness to them without being like a beer scented snuff. But there are some scents that exist in Indian snuffs that only exist in Indian snuffs. So if you're exploring the world of snuffs and you really want to see all of the scent combinations and texture combinations that are out there, you really gotta take some time and focus on Indian snuffs. Not all of them are the whites. There's a lot of like really, really good Indian snuffs out there that are not the whites that are actually, you know, meant to be enjoyed. The whites, in my opinion, are more of a utility thing. Cheetah and Dalaki White, I never took for the pleasure of it or for the complex sense. It was always because I needed that quick blast of nicotine. I'll leave the same word of caution with this that I did in my Dalaki White video. If your goal is to lower your tolerance for nicotine, don't stick with the whites. They're useful early on. I started using snuff, excuse me, in 2014, and back then it was necessary. I needed something with a lot of nicotine just to kind of bring myself off of that vaping habit. They served that purpose. Once some time went by, though, I used them less and less and less until, you know, we're at the point we're at now. Where I haven't used an Indian white in like a year until I did these reviews. If you already have a low nicotine tolerance, I know there have been a few people I've met on the boards and on Facebook who just got into snuff. They're not coming from cigarettes, they're not coming from vaping, they just got into snuff. Don't make it a bigger habit than it needs to be. Stay away from the whites altogether because they're going to bring your nicotine tolerance to the point where nothing but, you know, an Indian white or Toke Rustica is going to satisfy it, and at that point, it's just a habit. But for what they are, they do serve a purpose. I'm glad they exist because if it hadn't been for the super high nicotine snuffs early on, I don't know if it ever would have caught on with me. I probably would have gone back to vaping or back to smoking cigarettes. But I think it's important for most people, anyways, to look at them as like a part of a step ladder. So they're out there. Those are the 2 Indian whites that I had to review: the Dalaki White and the 6 Photo Cheeta. You're getting what you got with them. You know, they're nothing special. They're a quick blast of nicotine, and they can serve a purpose in your life. Just be careful with them. That's all I got on this one. Hope you guys are being safe, especially on the East Coast. I guess it got fairly serious in some areas. There have actually been some deaths, so I hope everybody's okay. I got some friends on the boards from the East Coast. I'm gonna probably send some messages out to tonight to just kind of check bases with a couple of people I got a little closer with out there. But hope you guys are being safe, having fun. Tomorrow's Monday. We're back to the grind. I'm trying to record as many videos as I can while I have the time. So hopefully over the next week, I'll put out 1 or 2 more every couple of days if I have the time to, and if I don't, for the rest of you, have a great night, have a great week. God bless, and salud.